Good morning, good day to everyone. I'm so grateful to meet you right where you are. Today is a brand new day. This is the 8th day of September 8th. Birthday blessings to everyone who was born on the 8th day of September. Grateful that our Creator has allowed you to see a brand new day. How they say it, another year around the sun. The orbiting sun. We're grateful for you. As you come on, I would that you hit the share button. We have an interesting topic today, and it deals with our mental ability, our mental peace, our mental sobriety. This topic is a very, very, very um, impactful topic that we're going to discuss, be it in and with the three communities that affect you immediately. There are three communities that you and many of us, if not the majority of the people that are listening to this, or may not be operative in all three communities now, but at one point in time, you might be operating out of one out of the three, or two out of the three, or three out of the three. The communities that we talk about is our personal family, our family, be it immediate family and blood relatives, as well as close friends. That is a community all in of itself. Many of your good friends know your family, know people in your crew, know your clan, know your mother, father, cousin, sister, son, daughter, whatever. They know your bloodline. You grew up with them. They're like first, second cousins to you. They're like siblings to you, and so you have friends that are extremely close to you. As you come on, please hit that share button. It's important for us to get many of the people that we know. Good morning to you, Laverne. We love you. For those who are coming on to our social media page as well as our Zoom room, we're grateful for those who are in our live Zoom room. I'm grateful for you. In particular, those who are sitting in it, we're grateful for your participation. So we want to further discuss those three communities are vitally important to have peace and understanding, and you knowing the role of everyone in your life. And some of that takes time. When you understand purpose, because some people are just in your life, and there's dead weight in all of our lives, and there's sometimes we have to purge, and we should purge. The purge is important of releasing and moving on. It's challenging for many people. So, but let's go there right now. So, when we talk about the three various communities, there are three communities that are important to you, the individual person, that are important to you, the man, the woman, would be husband, would be wife, and what wife and husband, father and mother. There are three communities that affect you. You have your personal family, and that includes friends. Then you have your work community, right? People who you work with, people who are on the job with, and then you have your spiritual community. If you meet in a congregational setting, if you meet, regardless of what faith you are practicing, regardless of how small or large your spiritual community is, that is a tribe all by itself. So you have three different tribes. And then if we could even add that political community, that's a community all in and of itself as well. And then there are small pockets of community. There are pockets because you are connected to people that you agree with. You frequent with people that you agree with. How can two walk lest they agree? And so there is an agreement, and I don't have time to do all the sub communities that we are part of, that we ascribe to, that we hold close to. I just want to really highlight the main three amongst many in our minds, in our connections, in our our frequenting, who we talk to a whole lot, right? And so you have now in this day and age, you also have this social community, this community of people that know you. Some know you, and some, and a whole lot don't know you. It depends on how public you are with your social media. It depends on how broad and how wide and well known you are with your social media. But I promise you, there are people that you've befriended or are friends with and still don't know, and you have not met or know the updated version of them. Just because you grew up with someone and you haven't seen them in years does not mean that you know about them. There's so many things that evolved in their lives. Like, for instance, so many things. If you haven't seen anyone since your high school graduation or college graduation, here it is 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40 years later, you really don't know them. They really don't know you, uh, especially if you have not talked, if there has not been that week to week activity, or just haven't seen them in 20 years. They don't know you. You don't know them. That's just, I mean, you know them, you know of them, but that person that evolved, they have some stories to tell you. So today's topic is the art of walking away. How do you purge? How do you walk away? When is enough enough? When and how can you walk away without it affecting you or affecting the foundation of a friendship, foundation of family, the foundation of it. How do you walk away where there's still peace, there's still a resolve, where there still could be possibly be cordiality, when you can be cordial with each other. How can you do that without it affecting the structure or your heart or your mind or their heart or their mind? How do you? And then there's some, and so we're going to talk about those three ways, three particular ways. And there's no clinical term for walking away. The medical term for walking away, if I was to use a medical term, is ambulatory. The person is up and they're ambulation. They are moving about and free to move, or they can move on their own. And if I was to apply that for our mental and our psychological and our emotional as well as spiritual, we do need at times to ambulate, to get up and move, get up and dust our feet off the relationship, dust our feet, and understand that there's some connectivity in our minds and in our hearts and in our relationships that has expired, that we hold on to a lot of too long, not a little too long, but a lot of too long. I'm convinced of that. I've been there, done that, had got a t-shirt, bumper sticker, and a coffee mug. And there was some, I'll never forget, I was in a friendship, it was three of us. We were extremely close. You could not pull us apart. You could not, we were three peas in a pod. But out of the one was extremely narcissistic and should have been left. And it was just self sabotage, and I stayed in it too long, because one thing in your circle should not be to the point where it's competitive, and someone wants what you want and took and take what they want, or envy you on the L or competitive with you on the L. That's not a healthy covenantal relationship. And I believe that there are times you can be in relationships. I learned that. Went through that for a reason. I survived it. Again, one thing about pain: when pain finishes teaching you, then it will leave you. When pain finish its purpose in teaching you, then it will subside, then it will leave. It'll linger around to remind you, wait a minute, that hurt too bad. You are now more discerning, not so much phobia out, because one thing about trauma and the trauma of a relationship, and I'm not talking heterosexually now. I'm not talking husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm talking about just who you allow in your circumference, who you allow in your world, who has access to your mind, your heart, your space, your time, your talent, and your treasure. Who have access to those. And there are times we don't know when to walk away. We don't know how to walk away. We have a false sense of commitment, a false sense of covenant, and we don't know any better. And primarily, it's because of a lack, in many cases, of what's going on internally. Why a person will continue to take nonsense from someone, why a person will continue to stay in a lopsided relationship, a relationship that's not reciprocating, a relationship. Your BFF should not want what you have, should not covet what you have, should not be jealous of you, should not be in competitive with, should not be competitive with you. Not your covenant, not people who are confidants to you. They should not be copying and pasting your thoughts and then applying it to their lives. Now, does iron sharpen iron? Absolutely. Yes. Does iron sharpen iron? Absolutely. It's supposed to sharpen iron. Women sharpening women, wives sharpening wives, mothers sharpening mothers, friends sharpening friends, right? That's what iron does when it gets together. It brings a level of critique, not criticism, brings a level of accountability, right? It sharpens character and integrity. It challenges those particular, even though you may fall out with that person for a moment, but their love has not changed. Your love has not changed. And sometimes purging through and growing through covenantal relationships are vitally important. And you will crash and bump heads. That's a part of, because now that person brings another level of vision, another level of perspective, another vantage point. They see what you don't see. They hear what you don't hear. They sense what you don't sense. They feel what you don't feel. And so we're talking about there are times we can stay in things too long. We can call a best friend too long. And let me qualify that, because I was teaching a couple of weeks ago, and I was saying, the Holy Spirit revealed to me that at times, what you have to do and what we have to do in our friendship is update the people we love, update our best friends. Sometimes your best friend has to update you. And what that looks like, let me unpack it. Let me track and unpack that. What that looks like is that there are times, we have to challenge each other. We have to remind each other as to the season where we're at, what we've overcome. Why are we still talking about this? Why are we still stuck in this elementary stage? Why are we still stuck in this remedial stage, this pediatric stage? What's going on with us as best friend, as my brother, best friend, as your sister, confidants? We're we can still be manufacturing tools that are dated, and they can carry the spirit of the problem, the spirit of the distraction. And so sometimes it's necessary for you and your best friend, you and your confidant, to update. There are updates going on all day, every day. Yeah, they're updates. Be it on your smart devices, be it on your Apple devices, be it on your computer software. There's updates. And I believe that there are times we have to update our circle. We have to update, and whether it's through prayer, reminding your circle. I was reminding my sons, my biological sons and godson, that there's another level of accountability that we have to give each other as men now. I treat them as grown men. I respect them as men, but our covenantal, because of our bond, all right, this is where we're at now. This is our lifing now. This is, and so bringing accountability, making your crew more spiritual aware. If all you do is gossip and slander and just bring other people's business together, y'all break and dissect and scrutinize other people, you really need an update in your circle. If your circle is not prayerful, mindful, tactful, strategic, that level of accountability, that level of plausibility, that level of talking, right? And that level of mental expression, if it's not there, you all need to be updated, upgraded to another level, right? And so that's important. Now, if you don't have those things, there are times you may have to make the tough decision of repositioning, and that is parting ways. You can part ways from people and not fall out. You do know that. You do know that there is a. I understand the sweat equity. Sometimes people don't want to leave relationships, friendships, so-called covenantal ships, because of the longevity. Get it? Understand that. Been there. Because of the sweat equity that you put in it, the time that you place in that relationship. There are times, and I'm talking friendship now. Again, I'm not talking heterosexually. I'm not talking husband to wife, boyfriend to girlfriend, boo or bae. Not talking any of that. I'm talking about who's in your immediate world, who has access to you, right? Because at times, if you love them enough to update them to where you are mentally, where you are spiritually, what you're not doing any longer, right? Um, what you're not saying any longer, where your mind is. It doesn't mean that you're better than them. You are not offering any blurred lines. You are forthright. You are straight up. You are telling them how you feel and where you are, where you feel that God is bringing you. If you're that spiritual, where you feel that the Holy Spirit is bringing you, if you're that spiritual person, where you feel your convictions are now, right? What you feel that the Holy Spirit has pivoted you. You're in a pivotal place. You've changed your perspective on certain things. You've changed your perspective on your view and your vantage point on certain conversations, on certain people. You're no longer there. You're no longer beefing. You're no longer grudging. Do you know what a grudge is? That's a powerful. Ooh, I love that definition. I'm impressed. Definition of grudge. I'm so impressed with this definition because it is a persistent feeling or ill will of resentment resulting from a past insult or injury. A past insult or injury. And there are times we can be connected to somebody who's not upgraded. Your friends will hold you or hold that grudge in you or their grudge. Now you have a grudge with someone that you've never met and someone that you don't have a beef with, someone you don't have an ought with. I get the covenantal aspect of your enemies is my enemies when you have a best friend. I get it. I understand it. That is a real spot. That's a real place. Those are real moments. I get it. I understand it. And I've been there and I've done that. But at the same time, I do believe that sometimes you can be connected to somebody who just beef with the world. You can have a family member that's always about it. You can be connected with friends that is always starting things, their restlessness, and because they know you're going to run, you're the cavalry. They know you can fight. They know you have resources, so they waste their resources just because they're tapped into your resources. So it's important for you to understand um, how this works, how to manage this, how to manage you while managing that. It's important for you to understand both, right? What that looks like. What that looks like. It's important for you to be able to manage. Um, all right. Um, Okay, I had to realign something. Please forgive me, everybody. Those who are in our Zoom room, the connection got a little challenged, but I'm back there. You can come back on. Um, so when we talk about taking inventory on who's around us, it's so vitally important. I can't stress this enough because again, updating your crew. If you don't want to, if you're not led to dismiss them or reposition them, update them. update them. Let them update you. Have that critical conversation with your crew, and so that you can take inventory, locate where you're at, locate what you're not doing, locate what you need to be doing. If everybody's out of shape, then somebody's got to say, well, we got to get in shape mentally. If you're out of shape emotionally, spiritually, mentally, who's sharpening who? Who's affected to who? Right? What are you strategizing together? What are your conversations? This is why you're in your low 20s, mid 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, late 40s, early 50s, 60s, 70s, and you're still talking about things that are remedial, things that are, there has to be an evolution, evolving going on in your relationships, right? This is what iron does. Iron truly sharpens iron. It does. It does. I can't say it enough. Iron truly sharpens iron. It brings another level of accountability. So, all right, let's go to our first thing: how to part ways without falling out, without being so wickedly evil. There's going to be some pain of letting people go, of purging, of sometimes the circle gets a little smaller. There's going to be some pain. That's a part of ambulating. That's a part of walking away. That's a part of repositioning. It's going to hurt because there is equity there. There is like time that you put in. There is, and that person probably is extremely resourceful. But sometimes we can still stay in relationships, friendships that expire, or we can fall in love with an assignment. It was never our assignment to make them a BFF or to date someone or to date a particular person. That assignment may have been to help them, to mold them, to groom them, to coach them, or be coached yourself. It may have been an assignment. And there are times we fall in love with an assignment, or we connect ourselves covenantally to an assignment. Now I am talking, on the next level of a relationship. Now I am talking heterosexually, or if it's same sex. I don't know if someone, whatever your attraction is, whatever your cup of tea is, right? We do not defame any man or any woman's choice, right? We don't. We just don't. We're too mature, too developed to do that, right? However, sometimes some people in your lives that you make close, or a good friend or a close friend or a confidant, could have just been an assignment, could have been a purpose and a reason for a season. And we don't know how to break free. We don't know how to see the difference. Our feelings and our emotions got involved or are involved, which then makes it difficult and complicated on releasing or moving forward or moving away from it. I want that to resonate and to sink in. So we don't know how to ambulate. We don't know how to move. Don't know how to walk away because we got our emotions connected to it. Or they connect to a lack that was in you. Just that lack part. You're attracted to, that lack part, because I do believe many times we attract what we lack. Can somebody write that down? We attract what we lack. And that's why we can get into volatile relationships. We can get into challenging relationship because we attract what we lack. That is a real statement. You can legitimately attract what you lack. And the enemy in us knows that. You often wonder why do I keep getting to this same type of relationship? Why do I get into find and I attract the same type of man, the same type of personality, the same type of conflict? What's in me that's attracting it? What's in me that's drawn to that, or it's drawn to me? What type of magnetic field that I possess? You know what magnets do, right? If you have a magnet on you, it's going to, and it's a large magnet, a strong magnet, it's going to attract all types of metal. You know, you just, yeah, you're not gonna attract plastic. You're not gonna attract aluminum or copper, right? You're not gonna attract, wood particles. It's going to be metal, right? That magnet will attract, and so sometimes we can attract, what we lack. And I'm not word play on this, even though it rhymes and it sounds good, but that's a definite fact. Oh, I'm rapping. We attract what we lack, and that's a definite fact. Yeah. Uh, no, I'm just joking. But the reality is we can legitimately attract what we lack, and that happens. And and this is why we're here in this particular session. This is why that's not for everything in our lives. It really isn't. And or yeah, we can track what we lack. We can also attract our pain. We can attract people who have gone through the same thing or is going through the same thing, right? Normally, if someone has gone through a divorce, or someone's going through a breakup, and someone's going through a relationship crisis, it's easy to tap into somebody who's going into a relationship crisis, and it's easy to find solace and strength and comfort and the voice of reason to some degree. Or they mad, now you mad. How can two walk lest they agree? Misery, finish it. It loves a friend, it loves company, it loves a confidant, it loves somebody to hang out with, it loves somebody to touch bases, touch and agree with. He ain't no good, she's a dog, she's crazy. So you find that group, that community, that tribe, that clan, and then bunker in with them, become BFFs. Wine bibbers hang out with winos. Winos, they all hang out together. Yes, they do, many times, right? Those who are weed heads, pot heads, however you want to call it, those who are stoked and like that, there's a community of them. Vapors, a community of them, right? Ballers, if you're a basketball players congregate together. They like the same things, they football players, right? It's the same. Clans are clans, communities are community, tribes are tribes. And then you can become so close to someone who's going through the exact same pain, the exact same trauma. So there's a trauma bond there. There's a trauma covenant there. And so taking inventory of what's on you now, who's around you, that's important now. Now that you're sobering, now that you're hearing a sobering message that is challenging you to again deal with you. This is not about them. We told you a few moments ago. If you're not led to dismiss them or reposition people, and that's your crew, update them. Y'all update each other. Like, bring a level of accountability, bro. Sis, bro. Let's pray before we get off this phone. That's accountability. Let's speak life. Let's bring our faith together as friends, as confidants. I know you shared, so I'm holding your pain close, but we're not gonna waller in this. That's a word my grandmama used to use. Waller. Why you wallering in it? Why you rolling around in it? Okay, all right, have your moment. We'll give space to a moment. We're not going to try to fix our friends. We're not trying to fix our immediate circle. We're not trying to be Dr. Roof for everybody, Dr. Phil with everybody. I often say sometimes people who are very, very close to you and your role in their life and their role in your life, there are times they need a moment in a space without your opinion, without you giving unsolicited advice, without you becoming the tutor or teacher. There are times your space, your ear, your shoulder, that atmosphere is just to listen, just to dump. And it should be both ways. Should not be in a lopsided relationship where they can dump on you, but you can't dump on them. Nah. No. Get out, run. Leave that. If it's not mutual, if you give them grace and they don't give you grace, and they're very critical about you, very opinionated about you, that's a lopsided relationship. And you're very empathic with them. You're very thoughtful and caring with them. And it may just be the fact that they don't have the ability. Well, if they don't have the ability, begin the updating process. Share with them how you feel. Your best friend should know how you feel. Certain things you say, certain things you do, if it's just agitating to you or them, vice versa, there should be no blurred lines. Now, if it is totally lopsided and that person makes everything about them, you can go to them with your problem, your crisis, and they turn around, make it about them. Oh, yeah, I've been there, I've done that. And they give you they one up you, they give you a better story and, song and dance. And then now all of a sudden, there's no listening to you at all. It's time to part ways in many cases, right? Especially if it's been years and they haven't changed. So parting way is healthy. Parting ways meaning that you can reposition somebody, but they don't know you reposition them, or they don't know you're repositioning them until you actually reposition them. And you can let them know. You can give them heads up. I think it's cowardly when someone don't know what's going on with you, because it's an actual relationship. It's an actual friendship. There's going to be pain involved. There's going to be like, what's going on? What did I do? What could I have fixed? There is going to be some level of, the trauma responses. There's going to be some level of grief. It's expected. Anytime you're prepared to walk away from somebody or reposition in friendship, there's going to be a level of grief. It's going to be a level of denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Those are the five stages of grief. There's a level of grief. It may not be long levels, but that has to be considered. And so what need must happen, if I may, in our lives when we're repositioning people, they should know. They should know why. Especially when you can do it and suggest, or if I may suggest it to you, in a soft way, in a way that is not forbearing, in a way that's not nasty. Hey, woman of God, I'm glad you made it back safe. In a way that's not forbearing, in a way that's not nasty, but you can reposition. I believe that people who are being repositioned in your life, they should not have to figure it out. I do believe that. Give yourself time and the space to tell them, and tell them to some degree why. Now, it's not going to be easy, but you're not leaving any blurred lines. There's no blurred lines. Um, and, especially to people who are non-responsive. People who are non-responsive in many cases in our lives, if you ever text somebody, call somebody, and they're not responding back to you via email, via text, via a phone call back, their non-response is a response in many cases, unfortunately, because you don't know, and they don't know how to tell you, I'm going through a tough challenge. And there's some people don't respond to you. It has nothing to do with you. I had to learn that, just as a spiritual leader, just as an entrepreneur, just as friends of a friend, right? I had to learn that it could very well be a legitimate not know-how, a legitimate overwhelming on their part. It doesn't mean that they don't like you. It doesn't mean some folk go through quietly and very stealthily. Did I say stealth? Yes, covertly. There are some people who process their pain, process their issue, process and shut down, and they don't discriminate with it. They're not, everyone got shut out. It wasn't just you. Everyone didn't get a call. No one got a response. And They know you're active. They see you go to work. They hear about you. You do your little, investigation. What's going on with sis? What's going on with cuz? What's going on with my friend? And they see you up and about, but you just they're in a mood. They're in a place where they don't want to talk and they didn't articulate it. Yes, is that wrong to some degree? I feel it's a little selfish, but everybody handles their crisis different, and they should be granted grace. Should be granted grace, right? And many times we can make it about us. Well, you didn't. How could you be this way and this, that, and the other? Blah 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 blah. When everyone's not like you, and sometimes putting your expectations on people can be overwhelming to you, and it backfires to you, or run them away because that's how you process. Now, do I believe that there should be a level of accountability? Absolutely. But in the event that it's not, how do you not take it personal? How do you, like, okay, now is there passive aggressive response on your behalf? Are you now, I'm shutting down, you gonna do me that way, I'm gonna do you that way? That's elementary. That's can be, let me just say that, it can be looked at as tick for tack. You kill my dog, I'm gonna kill your cat. I'm gonna get you better. I'm gonna do you one better. I can show you better than I can tell you. Yeah. Everybody processes differently. Everybody. It's everyone's not gonna respond like you. And then there are times, your accessibility, your caution, and your caution should step up. You should be like more cautious, because there's some people who don't have the right to walk out of your life, to walk in and out of your life when they want to. I'm listen, I want a Selah moment there. Selah. Selah. There are people who will take advantage of walking in and out of your life, so-called friends who will make themselves, you know, unavailable. And then when they, and it's done too periodically, it's done too sporadically, it's done too often. No, shut access down. You have the right to shut down access because you are emotionally connected. You are emotionally intertwined. You are emotionally available. And your emotion, you don't deserve that type of treatment when someone can walk in vicariously in and out of your life when they want to. Self-care says, no, okay, let me shut this down. No, no. Access denied. Oh, you can come. I'll eventually respond, but there's a whole lot of safety check and safety points now. Oh, we got to vet you down. We got to pat you down. No. See, this is the great thing about blurred lines, because there's some people who, in this world, in the society that we live in the community that we live in, there's some people who will date you only because they want your allegiance. And then after they get your allegiance, their dating stops. The patronizing you stops. It's real. It's a real place. But let me go back to people who just vicariously, recklessly walk in and out of your life. They, you left there dropping like, what happened? I called you. 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 You pop back up, give me a long song and dance. Then a month later, 2 months later, you do the same thing, and it's been a consistency in that level of relationship. You have the right to shut that down. You have the right to deny access. You have the right not to be emotionally available, not to be financially available, not to be physically available. You have that right to make yourself scarce. You do. And that's important for you to note and to understand. That's important for you to know and understand. Grab that blanket. That's important for you to note and understand that part about you when you give yourself this. Yeah, when you give yourself that right, when you give yourself that particular, hey, Machana, hey, Tanisha, hey, cuz, when you give yourself that understanding and that level of love, it's called self-care. When people can't walk in and out of your life when they want to, it's called self-care. It's called self-restraint. It's called protecting you. When people who can't handle your friendship, your level of friendship, and don't forget, there's some people who just expired. So it's all right for you to mentally, emotionally ambulate. It's all right for you to mentally, emotionally, whatever it is, because when helping you is hurting me, that's the challenge. So how can you walk away? I know I'm stuck in the first part of walking away because there's two parts of walking away: parting away, walk away, and sent away, right? And so today I'm just dealing with parting ways, right? I'm dealing with, because that's a cordial, that's a healthy way, that's repositioning, right? Repositioning people in our lives, right? Knowing where they're at, knowing their purpose, knowing what they want. You have a clear idea. Okay, this is why they're in my life. They're not really in my life for a confidential or confidant or next level friendship. They're in my life because of this resource. They're in my life because they know this, or they like something about me, but they're not really down with me. And that's okay. That's okay. There's no need to fall out. There's no need to make them an enemy or a frenemy. There's no need for none of that. It's about you knowing what's what and knowing the value of that parting way, meaning that I'm repositioning you, that there is a respect there, there's an honor there, because some of our relationships end horrifically, some friendships end horrifically, and it don't have to end horrifically. It has to end. And when I say end, meaning that resource part of you, meaning that emotional or spiritual attachment. Or you can adjust the flow. Go to your sink right now. Go to your shower right now. You can adjust the flow of your hot water, your cold water. How much pressure you want to come out, or if you wanted to drip out. You adjust the flow. Life is full of adjustments. We adjust all day, every day. So don't fall out. Adjust. Pivot. Make some changes. And now, let me go back to that point. The art of updating your crew. The art of bringing your crew up. You want to bring your crew up? Speak like, all right, we take inventory of your level of conversation. What do y'all talk about? What is it? What is it? What are the basis and meat of your conversations? What's on the plans? All right, are you stuck in anger, stuck in disappointment? Do you have a disappointing girlfriend that everything you talk to her about is about disappointing things? Oh, that's the one. Oh yeah, I can talk to her about that. I can talk to her about relationships, crisis. I can talk to them about depression. Yeah, they might. What's going on with your crew? How do you update your sources and resources? How? What do you want? Do you love them enough to say, to challenge them, to challenge her, to challenge him? We got to step it up now. All right, all of us smoking, all of us drinking, all of us getting high. Hey, somebody got to be the designated driver. Wait a minute, we got to change this. Let's start eating right. Let's start whatever it might be. And then sticking with it, right? And carrying this through. This is what, instead of, some people don't need to be cut off in your life. They need to be updated. You need to be updated. You have to evolve. I have to evolve. They have to evolve. And I'm being so forth right now. I just did something that I don't normally do, and that's just give plain, straight up, unsolicited advice. But there are times you just need to hear um, a tough word, a word of accountability, a word of challenging, from an internal, introspective place, right? This is not about them. This is about you first. This is not about fixing him, her, them. No, no. None of our sessions are giving you insight, hindsight, and foresight of to fix people. Nah, not here. No, stop. Put your tool chest down. Put your glue away. We're not trying to fix nobody. Not no. You are fixing and adjusting you. You are updating and upgrading you. That's what you're doing. This is about you, not about them. It's always been about you. I got a couple of extremely close friends. Small handful. It's a handful. I don't want to fix any of them. And they're not trying to fix me. We may have strong views, strong perspectives on some of the things that we do or don't do enough of. But when it comes to like trying to fix, are we accountable? Yes. Is there a level of accountability? Yes. You know, updating. One of the things that we talked about, you know, amongst my close confidants is that there are times I'm in my feelings, and I would want them to be in, show up with feelings, show up in my feelings with me, right? And still be sober, right? But not show up logically, you know, because sometimes we can be in our feelings and they show up with logic, or vice versa. And if they show up with logic, or they're in their logic, I don't want to show up with feelings and emotions. I want to show up with logic. All right, let's sit and talk about, and that goes even in your relationships with your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, son, daughter, whoever it may be, in any of the tribes or clans that you are covenantal with and that you see regularly. Um, it's important um, for that to be recognized, right? It's important for that, you know. If your wife is in her emotions and her feelings, as a partner, sit with her. If your husband's in his emotions and feelings, as a partner, sit with them in that, right? Explore that. What does that look like? Let them know that it's a safe space. Let them know that it's a non-judgmenting space. Let them know that I'm not trying to rush or fast forward you out of that space. Let's deal with that. What does that look like? You'll get a lot out of it. And sometimes it's not even giving it, many times, 90% of the time, it's not giving advice, right? Now, if they ask for advice and help, then that's different. Then you give it, you know. And then if your partner, you know, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your husband, wife, your best friend is in their logic, right? Sit in their logic with it, you know, remove emotions out of it. Stop making it about you. Just listen, just go logical with them, or try to ask the qualifying questions to help you understand where they're at. Let them explain it. People are smart and articulate. And many times they're more smarter than you would give them credit to. Many times you're more smarter than they would give you credit to. The person who talks a lot and over talk, obviously you don't listen. And the over talker, the one who interrupts and always got something to say, shuts the other people down. I promise you, they shut down because they know you're gonna have to be loud and you know, inconsiderate. Everything is about your opinion. You're driving your view, your perspective. But when you listen and listen empathically, or as my favorite scripture is, one of my favorite scriptures pertaining to listening is James 1:19. Oh, I love it. Let every person be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to wrath. I love it. I slow to anger, slow to going off, quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to going off. Well, listen, I'm going to have to wrap this up. We will deal with the other two walking away components on Wednesday, parting ways, or to leave, right? You got the parting away, walking away, and to send away, right? It's a lot, some good stuff. I hope that this bless you. I hope that you have a phenomenal time going over this. This is some really, really helpful stress relievers and some clarity and understanding. Be sure to share. this on your social media page. Those in our Zoom room, please go and share this particular lesson, this particular session rather, on on your social media page. I'd so appreciate it. Listen, to all of my friends and family and partners, those in Christ, this coming Saturday and Sunday is such, I'm so excited. We have our sister circle coming up for all of our women, Saturday, September 13th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Our facilitator and presenter is that of none other than Pastor Andrea Griffin. Powerful. There's going to be mass deliverance, healing, recovery, restoration, and you do not want to miss it. So, sisters, it's a free invitation. It's about y'all. You, the woman, the wife, the mother. Bring truckloads, carloads. Bring your family there. I want to see you there on this coming Saturday at 11, from 11 to 4, 313 Meriden Road, there in the city of Waterbury, Connecticut. You do not want to make plans. Your plans. The weather's gonna be nice. I already looked at the meteorologist. So just bring yourself, bring all your pain, bring your shame, bring what you're going through. It's going to be a safe, healing, and holistic space. We've already been fasting and praying for this particular gathering of the sister circle, and our theme is, girl, if you only knew, right? So we're going to be dealing with those, and then that Sunday morning, we are gathering for the part two, and I'm just excited about Sunday morning too. Pastor Andrea is staying over to preach and to teach and to further what God has given her in her assignment. So she will be with us on Saturday and Sunday. All right, and so I'm inviting all the sisters, all the women, wives, mothers, aunties, whoever you are as a woman, meet us there Saturday, September 13th, 11 to 4, and Sunday, September 14th at 10 a.m. Same spot, 313 Meriden Road in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Blessings to you. I hope this has blessed you. I pray
Good
God's
morning.
continued blessings over you.
It's
and your
Monday,
family.
September 8th.
Be well.
It's 7:05 a.m.